Oh, hello. This is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video and would like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe. Well, the reason that I still have my sunglasses on because my pink eye is still pretty bad. Hopefully I will get better soon so I can get rid of my sunglasses. I actually do not look that good in sunglasses at all. In this video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to cook a dish using my fast cooking system that I have never cooked before. The word fast is the acronym for flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. If you're not familiar with it, you can take a look at this video. For me, using this cooking system, I can cook almost everything that I would like to do. Because I have a template for different kinds of dishes, so I could use the template as a starting point to create the kind of dishes that I think I would like to have. Recently, a friend of mine called me and talked to me on the phone, and he told me that he had this wonderful chicken at Panda Express, which is brand new, and they call it honey sesame chicken. He told me that he found a lot of recipes to create this honey sesame chicken on the internet. But he wondered, could I create one that is healthier than what is being offered at the restaurant? So I told him that I would give it a try. And this video is my attempt in create a healthier version of the honey sesame chicken. So the first thing that I need to do is that I need to go to Panda Express and to taste what this honey sesame chicken actually tastes like. I discovered that this dish is basically based on a sweet sour flavor. However, it is more sweet than sour in comparison to, say, for example, a sweet sour pork. Since I have a template for making sweet and sour pork, I have some pretty good idea how to achieve this dish. Okay, let's go into the kitchen and get started. So I always have some chicken prepped in advance stored in my freezer, so I can have chicken anytime I want. I usually prep them in 8 ounces package, and I keep them very thinly packed so they could be thawed out rapidly. All I need to do is to put the chicken in a sink of lukewarm water, and they will be thawed in about 10 minutes. While the chicken is thawing, the next thing I'm going to do is to create a light batter. The batter that I'm going to use will contain cornstarch, actually equal part of cornstarch and equal parts of flour. This will provide the kind of texture that I am looking for. Next, I'm going to add about half a tablespoon of my basic seasoning mix to enhance the flavor of the chicken. If you are not familiar with this seasoning mix, you can take a look at this video. You can season it with salt and pepper if you like, or you can skip it entirely. It really do not make a whole lot of difference. In order to create a light batter for the chicken, I'm going to start out by beat up an egg. The egg serves 2 purposes. The first purpose is that because the egg adds proteins to the flour and cornstarch and will give it a little bit more substance. And secondly, the presence of the egg will let the batter to cling on to the chicken a little bit better. If you do not like to use egg, you can always substitute it with water. By now the chicken was thawed. I put them all into the egg. And now I use a pair of tongs, slowly and lightly coat the egg with the flour cornstarch mixture. This will provide the chicken with a very light coating. At the same time, it is not only it is more delicate in flavor, but it also lower in calories. This part of the preparation is quite time consuming, as you can see. However, if you like things that have a light batter, then this is worth the time. The next part in preparing this dish is to make the sauce. I'm going to use equal part of vinegar and sugar. The vinegar that I'm using here, I use 3 tablespoons of vinegar, and I just use the regular distilled vinegar, but you can use other vinegars as well. Then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now the amount of sugar that you add will be very much depend on how sweet you want the dish is. This is the flavor chasing part of my fast cooking system, that you can constantly make adjustments and modifications to suit your taste and preference. I next then add half tablespoon of honey. Now honey vary quite a bit in quality. I have a friend, he kept his own bees, and his honey definitely tastes better than the honey that I purchase at the supermarket. So you might want to try different type of honey to find the one that you like. I next add half tablespoon of light soy sauce, not the dark soy sauce type, because I don't want to make the coloration too dark. The soy sauce plays a critical role because it cuts the acidity of the vinegar. It makes the sauce taste like vinegary by adding soy sauce. I then add 1 teaspoon of my basic seasoning mixed. This will give the sauce a greater umami flavor. You can skip that or you can just put in a little bit salt and pepper if you prefer. The final ingredient to go into this sauce is cornstarch. I add 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. Now the cornstarch is critical to be mixed well into the sauce because otherwise it might become grainy. After you mix it, then you are ready to cook. I'm going to use my Cucina 14-inch stainless steel wok. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of canola oil from my squeeze bottle, which is a very easy and convenient way to store oil. I'm going to season the wok, use my spot seasoning method. If you are not familiar with the spot seasoning method, you can take a look at this video, and it works really well with a stainless steel wok. Once the wok is properly heated up and the oil has seasoned the wok, I'm going to add about 1 cup of thinly sliced carrot. So instead of using a wok spatula to stir fry the carrot, I use a pair of tongs to turn the carrot around. As the tongue is going to turn out to be very useful later on when I'm going to cook the chicken. Here is a good example of shallow fry. After briefly fry the carrot, next I'm going to add the chicken to the wok. As you can see here, because of the batter, the chicken tend to stick together, and a wok spatula will not work very well to separate them. And it is here where the tongs is really helpful in separating them apart. This is an example of shallow fry. What I'm trying to do is not to stir fry the chicken, but to lay them out at the bottom of the wok so that one side will be fried before I turn them around. By using the tong, I can turn individual pieces of chicken by themselves without having to stir fry everything together. So once the chicken has been seared, I start to use the tong to turn the chicken over rapidly so it could be fried evenly. As you can see, some part of the chicken start already to turn brown, and it will be crispy, and particularly the cornstarch is responsible for the crisp nature of the chicken. The dish is now done, and the total cook time is a little bit over 3 minutes. So the next step is that I'm going to remove the wok from the stove and start to add the sauce to the dish. Because the wok is still very hot, so the sauce thicken readily. Now if the sauce do not thicken as much as you want, you could put it back onto the stove. And next I add the sesame seed to the chicken, and after a few quick stir, it is ready. Lastly, I garnish the dish with some scallion to give it a touch of color. So after I cook this dish a couple more times, I called my friend and he came over and I cooked it for him. He told me that it tastes actually better than the one at Panda Express. But the thing that he liked most, it is lighter, and he felt that after he ate it, he just felt better about it. Personally, I don't think I will cook this dish too often, but it would be a good dish to be in my repertoire when I have guests or I feel like to have something different. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like icon below. That will help me to expand my audience base. If you would like to receive notification of my future video postings, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you next time.